What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here. In today's video, I wanted to give a quick rundown of what damage perks work on champions, specifically with regards to major or boss spec affecting champions. I was grinding the Perdition 1250 Lost Sector today on my Titan, trying to get a better Hall of Fire heart. I was using a Geon 7 pulse rifle with Disruption Break. Mostly I was using it because of all the arc shielded harpies, but I got thinking, does Disruption Break still work on barrier shields and Beyond Light? Spoiler alert, it does. In the background gameplay, I'm going to be showing you footage of me hitting barrier champions with various buffs applied to my weapons. I'm using the Succession sniper rifle from the new raid. I was lucky enough to get a Reconstruction vorpal god roll, but I also got a roll without vorpal weapon, so it is great for testing and checking out the damage numbers. The first few clips are going to be me hitting barrier champions with boss spec applied to a sniper rifle without vorpal weapon. As you can see, it hits for 30,242 damage with Disruption Break, and then 20,161 damage without Disruption Break. Disruption always gives a 50% buff to your damage for about a 3-second window. Next up, we'll be hitting champions with a major spec applied to the same sniper without vorpal weapon. In this instance, we see we are hitting for 32,592 and 21,728 damage. This means that we are getting roughly a 7.8% damage buff when we use major spec versus when we use boss spec. Therefore, we can surmise that the game recognizes champions as majors. For the third test, we will be using the vorpal weapon sniper with a boss spec applied. In these cases, we are hitting 34,545 damage with Disruption Break and 23,030 damage without Disruption Break. And on the sniper without vorpal, we would hit 30,242 and 2161 respectively. Therefore, we can determine that vorpal weapon gives us a 14% damage buff. This is actually quite a big deal and can be the difference in it taking one less shot to down a champion, and in Grandmaster content, that can often be make or break. Sometimes all you needed was that one more shot and the champion would have died, but you don't get it and all of a sudden it regens its health or it kills you before you kill it and it's back to square one. So we have determined that major spec works on champions, and we now see that vorpal weapon also works on champions. So for the last test, we tested the vorpal weapon sniper with a major spec applied, and luckily for us, both buffs stack. In these instances, we were hitting 37,229 damage with Disruption Break and 24,819 without. Compared to the sniper with no vorpal and a boss spec applied, that is a 23% damage increase. That is actually huge. Basically, 5 shots from a sniper with a boss spec and no vorpal is equivalent to 4 shots from this sniper with a major spec and vorpal weapon. This damage buff definitely makes a difference in game. In this Lost Sector, the Hydra at the start also takes damage from vorpal weapon. Additionally, major spec works on it. So that 7.8% buff from major spec takes the crit damage from 23,030 to 24,819. This allows you to kill the Hydra in 5 shots instead of 6. Which actually allows you to down it before it spawns in the next section. The boss at the end of this Lost Sector is quite hard to get crit shots on, so I went to a different Lost Sector to test damage numbers on a Lost Sector boss to see what it's classified as. I went to everyone's new favorite punching bag, Carl. He is located in the Conflux on Nessus. I thought for sure he must be a boss, but to my surprise, the damage buff actually occurred when a major spec was slapped on the sniper, as you can see in the background gameplay. I hit 20,269 damage with a boss spec applied. I then swapped to a major spec and hit 21,844. You can see on the left that vorpal weapon activates in both instances, so it seems to be the same deal as the champions. At this point, my curiosity was piqued. I really got wondering, what does Bungie classify as a boss? I suspect that boss spec really only affects actual bosses, like a boss with a health bar such as Riven or Tanyx or Kali or Shurochi, or name bosses such as strike bosses. Enemies such as wanted enemies or enemies with health bars above their heads are probably all classified as majors. I did not do extensive testing to confirm this, but one final thing I did was hop into a strike and test it out on a strike boss. I figured surely boss spec must work on them, and it does. In these two clips, you can see me swapping between boss spec and major spec. With the boss spec applied, I hit 48,554, and with the major spec applied, I hit 45,054. In this case, I was not running vorpal weapon, but it is safe to assume that it would apply in this case as it is hitting an actual boss and not a major. Again, I did not do extensive testing, so if anyone has any further info, please feel free to drop it in the comments. I more just wanted to make this video to highlight the fact that if you want to do more damage to champions, you should use Major Spec. I know there's probably some confusion out there. I know personally, when my clanmates and I would run Grandmasters, there was always some debate as to what to use, so hopefully this video helps put some of that doubt to rest. With these solo lost sectors dropping exotics, I'm sure more people than ever are running into champions these days. So I just wanted to get this info out there and hopefully help somebody have an easier time with their lost sector farming. I know I learned a few things myself when doing the testing. I hope this helped you in some way, and if it did, feel free to leave a like. I really enjoyed testing out these different perks and seeing what works and what doesn't. I really love these lost sectors as it allows for easy testing on your own rather than with a fire team when you're in a Nightfall. As well, having focused gear that you can farm is a tremendous positive for the game. It is always nice to have some agency in the drops you get. I know it will give me lots more to farm when the season hits its slow point. But that's all I got for now. If you made it this far, I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Peace.